an unknown malevolent force. After what happened, the whole crew, and especially Ryan, wanted to leave the house. But then they recorded this.
The person that just said, be careful, just said, it's not me. Dude, I'm in a lot of pain right now. What do you want to do? Can we go? Yeah, let's go. But before that, I'm going to ask you one thing. Before we leave this place, if you can, I want to hear your voice one more time.
Something's wrong.
Just one more time and we're going. We're leaving. I want to hear a good loud one.
It's Dave.
That's Dave, dude. It's telling us to leave, bro. They're telling us to go.
Just one more voice. Please.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that? Can we go? Can we go, please?
What? Can you look at me?
Okay. I'm hanging right next to this thing. Let's go. That was it.
Hey, we're leaving.
Dude, I'm telling you, we need to go.
At the very end, the team records one of the better EVPs. After everything they've experienced, they've had enough and leave this terrifying place. What Ryan, River, and Wyatt really experienced that night. Does this place really deserve to be called the most haunted place in America or not? Did they manage to capture an aggressive spirit and something mysterious on the camera? Or maybe everything can be rationally explained? As always, folks, you are the judges. You decide. Also, if you want to watch the full episode and many more spooky content, visit their YouTube channel, Twin Paranormal. Number 5. The next video is from our well-known YouTuber, Outdoor Xiaolong, who posted a video from 2019 where he went to an old and abandoned building where he recorded this.
这个才是他妈食堂呢！像他妈什么东西，这是他运营的人。操你妈！别他妈！
After entering one of the many rooms, Xiaolong records a mirror that is moving. But what he recorded next is goddamn scary. Xiaolong is walking down the corridor, he records something scary in the window on the left. At some point, there is a silhouette of a man who scares him so much that he runs away from the building. Is it a real ghost recorded on camera, or maybe just a hoax? The final decision is yours. Also, if you want to watch the full episode of his investigation, visit his YouTube channel.
I want to stop this right quick, and I want to punch in my tablet.
536 used 16 seconds. Press and hold for options 1 of 6 or more.
I want to show you guys something, because some people don't believe that probably was real. But I'm going to show you something here.
If you could give a 5-star review, if you feel so led, that would be great to get these messages out so more and more people can hear the life-saving gospel of Jesus Christ and also be warned about what's going on in the culture. So, according to a New York Post article, nearly 30 schoolgirls have been hospitalized with anxiety attacks after allegedly playing with ouija boards at their school in Colombia. Quote, there were 28 possible cases of anxiety in school students, said Hugo Torres, head of the Galeras Education Institution in Galeras, where the incident took place, per Jam Press. According to the outlet, alarm bells went off after the girls reportedly suffered signs of fainting, anxiety, and other symptoms at school. They were subsequently admitted to a municipal hospital accompanied by parents and school faculty. Info on the student's diagnosis is yet to be released. However, many parents blame the in-school use of ouija boards, a Jumanji-esque pursuit that uses a sliding pointer to spell out messages in a mysterious way. Created in the U.S. in 1886, ouija boards have become a fixture in occult lore due to their alleged ability to communicate with the dead. Quote, I work here in a hospital kiosk, and every day I see 3 or 4 children arrive after fainting, exclaimed one mother. Parents, you have to move. Investigate what's happening at school, because our children cannot continue in this situation. Reportedly, there's been at least 11 students have actually fainted. Yes, that's right, passed out after playing with the Ouija board. And guys, I know that the Ouija board this and pentagram that, and the truth is that these are merely tools that Satan can utilize and open up pathways and open up opportunities to engage with the demonic realm on these children. And it's really, really sad. And it's something that has been used over and over again by people you may be surprised have used it, as well as people that are not so surprising. In fact, the founder of modern-day Satanism, Aleister Crowley himself, actually talked about it in a letter to fellow occultist Charles Stansfield Jones. And Crowley wrote this about the Ouija board, quote, your Ouija board experiment is rather fun. You see how very satisfactory it is, but I believe things improve greatly with practice. I think you should keep to one angel and make the magical preparations more elaborate. You see, Aleister Crowley, who would contact different demons such as AWAS and others, he would not only talk about the Ouija board with great flattery, but also talk to Jones about creating their own Ouija board and promising 10% to him for being able to use this. And he actually saw this, as well as drug use, as a great means to open up the mind to the spiritual realm. And this is true. This is something that is true. The dipping your toes into drugs and alcohol, as well as opening yourself up through these facets, is something that we see clearly. In fact, when we look at, in not only the Old Testament, then in the New as well, we see the warning giving in 1 Peter chapter 5 that we are to remain sober and vigilant, because our adversary the devil prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. These things are very, very, very serious. In fact, in Proverbs chapter 23, verses 31 through 35, when it warns about not getting drunk, with that to not look at or gaze at wine when it's red in the cup, when it sparkles in the glass, one of the things it bites like is a yachash. It's the same Hebrew word that is used in the book of Genesis to talk about the serpent, the way he bites. And it says you'll wake up with bruises and say, let's go have another drink. And I know, sadly enough, for myself, that was my autobiography. Proverbs 23:31-35 was the autobiography of Chad Davidson before I came to know Christ. And I remember those verses, and I've written them on my heart as a warning to what my life was truly like, and also to remember what Christ has done in pulling me out of that mire. But something that I have talked with a lot of people who were drunkards like myself, those who are now saved and those who are not saved, and many of them, my friends who have gotten off drugs or alcohol, have done so by way of 12-step programs and Alcoholics Anonymous. But one thing that people might not know is that Bill Wilson himself not only used drugs or had drugs used on him, and actually had hallucinogenic experiences that helped him, that aided him to get off alcohol and in more to a spiritism, but he himself as well used the Ouija board. According to sources, one of his letters to advisor Father Dowling suggests that while Wilson was working on his book 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, he felt that spirits were helping him. In particular, a 15th century monk named Boniface. Despite his conviction that he had evidence for the reality of the spirit world, Wilson chose not to share this with AA. However, his practices still created controversy within the AA membership. Wilson and his wife continued with their unusual practices in spite of the misgivings of many AA members. In their house, they had a, quote, spook room, where they would invite guests to participate in seances using a Ouija board. Interestingly enough, when Bill Wilson had his spiritual awakening that led to him finding sobriety at the upscale Charles B. Towns Hospital in New York City that would inspire the founding and program of Alcoholics Anonymous, he describes the angel of light that came into his room this way.
The room instantly lit up in a blinding glare of white light. I was seized by an ecstasy such as I had never known. I thought to myself, but this is not air, this is spirit. This is the God of the preacher. I found myself on the bed, but now I was in a new world. A world in which everything was right, despite the wrongs of the world I had been living in. I felt myself filled with the consciousness